Once again, thank you for following and tuning into the Daily Cope. Uh, like, follow, and share. Costs you nothing, and it keeps the message going. It gives you something to think. You may not agree with me, but at least put some thoughts in your mind. Makes you think some things over. I'm not 100% right, but I am right. And with that said, I find myself here again. Hello, beloved. My progressive brethren, I'd like to thank you for showing up again. I'd like to kindly ask you to leave. You think about it, progressives, man, they just stink. They really do. How could they make such a righteous cause and movement so distasteful? I mean, dude, I hate this dude, man. I hate him so much. And her, I hate her as well. Oh, and him too. Yeah. I hate him too. Oh, good one. Yeah. These three, man. Oh. And don't be wrong, this guy, I don't hate him. I hate his fans. It's called the Caitlin Clark syndrome. Wasn't always called that. But it's the hatred of the fans. The fans are such. It's like Kobe. I used to hate Kobe because all of his fans were just like, oh, he's just the greatest thing ever. He can't do any wrong. He's so awesome. It was just like, shut up. Let me believe it. You don't got to convince me. If he's so great, you don't have to convince me. And progressives, they say it all the time. Cenk Uygur specifically. Oh, all the people agree. The populace agrees with us. Yes, and doesn't that tell you something? The populace agrees with you. This is true. This is true on a lot of factors. But why do they hate you? Why does the populace also agree with hating you? Hassan, you think because if you have a million Twitch viewers, that's more than a drop in the bucket? That leaves about 340 million to hate you. 340 million plus. We all know that most of the people who watch you can't vote. Either because they are not a legal citizen or they're young. This is crazy that I got to keep coming back to the progressives because I shouldn't have to. Their message should be able to emanate, get out there, and bring the people together. But it doesn't. Yourselves are so distasteful that people who need the things that you profess to want to give them, they're like, nah, fuck it. The fact that you think that these primaries, not these primaries, that these midterms are going to be your time to shine is wild to me, being that throughout Kamala's running, throughout Biden's running, the negative that stayed constant was trans people, Hassan Piker, AOC, and the Green New Deal. Now I'll give you did give up on transgender people. You threw them under the bus. Cenk said it, Anna said it. You threw them under the bus. You said that because the Republicans kept showing a commercial of Kamala Harris talking to a transgender inmate, that made it seem like she was talking about it, because she said nothing about it except that they have rights. But you threw them under the bus. You've given and then you also want to jump on the sports thing about how, oh yeah, men shouldn't be playing in women's sports. That is already a given. We've already come to this. We've already known this. This is always how it's been. So why are we even talking about it? Why are you playing up to it? Because progressives, to a man, all said the same thing. And even the names that I mentioned before, but also the Luke Beasleys, the Parkers and Deans, all of them, except for the minority ones, because minorities aren't stupid enough to say this. And let me remind you that the Young Turks and Hassan all can call themselves white. If you call them black, they will, or brown, they will be upset. They are not us. They do not want to be us. But anyway, they all to a man said Kamala didn't listen to white men enough. Before I defend Kamala, white men have made this country the way that it is. You are 90% of the representation in government since the beginning of its inception. At one point, you were 100%. Men. I'm not going to put this on the white women outside of their support of it. So you've said quite enough. And the white people, the young white men of today, I'm not really fond of the young black men of today. You are all idiots, dog. You're all morons. And I say that lovingly. But you're idiots. You don't have the empathy to be as smart as you think you are. And spend some time on that one and dig before you try to dig what I'm saying on that. Progressives are spoiled, middle-class, suburban kids who think they've figured out the way to fix it all. I know you want to give people things, and I'm not against that. We pay taxes. We should be getting something back continuously, and not a war report either. I could give a damn about the military right now. If you got rid of them, the funny thing is that the DSA said we should get rid of the standing military forces. I would have been down with you, but you didn't, because you are the same people. You want white supremacy because you also want to keep it the way it is to a certain extent, which is why you changed from being complete socialist, saying that as the Richard Hassan got, you stopped being socialist as a group and became you still want a branch of capitalism. Yes, because you still want to be over black and brown people. And that includes the black and brown people who are in the Progressive Party, because they look at themselves as going to be on the top tier of this new class structure. And everybody wants a class structure. I don't want a class structure. And progressives, like I said, they are pushing the message of no men playing in women's sports like it's a thing, because they also do not believe trans people are like what they are. They are who they are. You are what you say you are. If you're a clown, if you say you're a clown, you're a clown. Like all of this stuff, I'm trying to control people and trying to make sense out of everything. You don't have to make sense out of everything. You know how to make sense out of everything? Mind your fucking business. That's another problem progressives don't have, that the progressives have. They don't know how to mind their own fucking business. They sat there and meddled in democratic politics for years, undermining them, lying on them, creating all types of conspiracies. Because let me remind you, every progressive said that Bill Clinton was guilty with Jeffrey Epstein. Every single one of them. Not one of them. Everyone said, oh yeah, fuck Bill Clinton. They also call Obama a war criminal. Why would you do that? You can think that, but why do you use that in your arguments to make yourself seem like not a Democrat? Saying that trying to make it seem like the Democratic Party is so separate from you. But what have progressives done? I will wait, as I always do. Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Everything that you claim that was done that was progressive was done by Joe Biden or Barack Obama. And helped through by Kamala Harris. You said Kamala Harris was a neocon. I want you to show me any piece of legislation that she voted for that was neocon related. I will wait, because you forget that she was a senator. You forget that you claimed that she was the progressive candidate when she was running against Buttigieg and Biden in the primary. And she was black until Trump said she wasn't, and then you guys started making that argument. Maybe she's not really black, and that she code switches. bruh, progressives are nothing but the thorn in the heel of progress. Because they know that we will never get it all at once. But that's the only way they'll take it. And they have now ruined. This is why, if you look at the polling, Republicans are tanked. But Democrats aren't killing them because the progressives had destroyed the credibility of the Democrats. The Democrats at the beginning of Trump's term said, we're just going to let him give the people what they asked for and show them how that's not what they want. But that wasn't good enough for progressives because progressives saw this as their chance to bring down the Democratic Party. But couldn't just sit back. And the reason why the progressives have any chance right now at all is because of exactly what the Democrats said. Look at the Republicans. They have completely tanked, so they will vote for anything else. So now the progressives are thinking, oh, we're just going to completely just decimate the Democratic Party. Who was right? And you don't think about that. Politically, the Democratic Party has been the most efficient party. But progressives are their children. They're fucking know-it-all, smarmy ass fucking kids. And then they're also rich white Republicans kids who know that they can fool progressives into doing whatever they want. Progressives got rid of Jasmine Crockett for the Republican Party. They have now turned with the DSA have now turned a lot of black voters against voting Democrat no matter what. Not saying they're going to vote for the right, but they are saying they refuse to vote for you people. I am one. I would never vote for AOC. And that's your candidate. That's the only, her and Hassan are the only candidates you have to run for president. And you guys are right now probably thinking, oh no, Ossoff. Ossoff's not one of you. So you're just trying to claim him now because he's a good looking white guy. And just like Tallarico's not one of you. He can't be one of you. He's a Christian. You guys have sold out every principle you have. You've partnered with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie, people who voted 95% with Trump. You've partnered with Tallarico, who was a Christian. You partnered with Mamdani, who doesn't even want to claim the DSA or even endorse all of your opponents. And then the crown jewel is Graham Plattner. And Graham Plattner is so great because, you got rid of him. You got rid of him after you praised the Democratic Party for getting rid of Swalwell. So once the allegation came up, and he just had to back down. You were so happy because you just want to bring down the establishment. I see what you are now. You have no real plans. Now that you put your plan out and everyone sees this DSA plan, even progressives are running from that. You followed Hassan Piker into a fucking ditch, and now look at you. Now look at you. And AOC is trying to keep her distance from you as well. But I will remind everybody how she code switches and how she switched on everything. The progressives said Kamala can't be forgiven because she said that Joe Biden wasn't cognitively challenged. I have video right now, right here, of AOC backing the same thing.
The president's only primary opponents are Marianne Williamson and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Haven't been any rumors about anyone else even thinking about jumping in. Will you be supporting Joe Biden for re-election?
I believe given that field, yes.
In general, how do you think President Biden has handled his job over the last 4 years?
I think he's done quite well given the limitations that we have. I do think that there are ebbs and flows as there are in any presidency. There are areas that I think were quite strong when he came right out of the gate with the American Rescue Plan, and of course the Inflation Reduction Act was a massive step in terms of our climate agenda.
But she's fine. Tallarico says the exact same things about Israel that Jasmine Crockett says, but Jasmine Crockett is a shill for Israel, even though you can't find me one thing of her support in this war. One. And you can't find me one thing of her support in Israel. It's funny to me that you don't mind us helping Gaza, but you mind black people who have been getting tortured in the prison system and wrongfully arrested as proof of the exoneration and recidivism stats, you're fine with us just dealing with that. And as Hassan said,
like it or not, black people care about the border. Man, shut the up. Black people care about the border. I don't give a what black people care about. Oh, black people care about this. Black people care about that. Like, shut the up. That's not how politics works. Go ahead. Go post a fucking clip about how much of a fucking white supremacist I am. Suck my dick. Annoying. Dumb fuck. Root.com article regurgitators in here instantly being like, sweetie, you don't understand black people. Shut the fuck up. God damn. That attitude left a long fucking time ago. It doesn't work, okay?
that doesn't work anymore. Black people's what black people care about and what they vote for doesn't work anymore. Yeah, because they have replaced this now. What they're trying to do is they're trying to homogenize the Latinos, the Arabs, and the Northern Africans, and make a new minority party that does not have to even think about what black people want, because all those groups that I just mentioned all don't like black people, and that's what the progressives are eating up. And they're also trying to get ex-MAGA. Once again, don't like black people, and I don't understand what black people have done to any of y'all, except point out what y'all have done to us. So, progressives, you need to keep your eye on them, because they are going to screw up the whole thing. And if the Republicans do not lose the House and the Senate, guess whose fault it is? And I mean both. There's no way that the Republicans should not lose both this time. If they do not lose both, and Trump is not impeached and removed, it is the progressives' fault. Know that. They designed this, and they screwed it up as usual.